So I don't get out running in the neighborhood much these days, but I had a busy week and haven't been out exercising at all today or even out of the house. So I'm going to go out for a run in the neighborhood and I'm going to test out my GoPro. I wanted to test the different settings and see how they change the video when I'm running, just in terms of stabilization, in terms of field of view. Horizon leveling. There's quite a few settings on the GoPro, so first time to do a little bit of experimentation. So at the moment I've got the max lens mod on, which is supposed to help with stabilization. It has automatic horizon leveling option, which I think is pretty cool, and it's supposed to give a wider field of view. So I'll test it out with a few different settings first, and then I'll try and run the same area with the camera. Different settings, and let's see how it turns out. So first going to set off with the wide 16mm correction here. That should be the max super view 14mm. I do have the stabilization setting on, and I do have the horizon leveling on as well. So I'm just going to flick around, and I think what we want to be watching out here for is how much you're seeing kind of beyond my face either side, and then when I flick around what that looks like. I've got a wall on my right and a road to my left, so try and see how that affects the photos when I flick the camera around. Okay, so that's test number 1 done. I think I'm just going to continue a run around the block, and then when I get back I'll change the settings and I'll do the same segments again. But maybe actually I'll just run around this corner and just get another little perspective as well while I'm turning. Okay, so I made a mistake. The last video I took was actually max super view, which is 40mm, and now I'm on the 60mm, still with the max lens mod on. So this should be a little bit tighter. You should be able to see less width, I guess. Let's see what it's like when I'm running. So I only did one block of about 800 meters. And already starting to sweat because it's Singapore, hot and humid, and it's just getting on 6 p.m. That's still pretty nice. So the good thing about the GoPro is it has lots of settings that you can change, which is nice, but it does take a while to get used to them all. And of course I guess it really takes an expert to know which of the settings to use and when. So I'm going to flick the camera around again now. Hopefully running at pretty much the same speed, so maybe I can line these videos up and show them in the same screen afterwards. But let's see how this is. It'll be interesting to see what a difference it makes. Flick around again while I go around the corner. So I've changed back to the regular lens now. It's been quite a while since I had this on, so immediately the GoPro feels smaller and less heavy at the front. I had to change a setting to tell the camera that I'd changed the lens, but changing the lens was pretty easy. I could almost do it while running, didn't quite attach it correctly. And there's 5 settings for this lens. So I'm starting with the Super View 16mm. So I guess in theory it should be similar to the video I was taking last time. I really don't know how much a difference that lens is going to make. Maybe it's the stabilization, or maybe the field of view is the same. I'm not sure. So let's give it a try. I'm not sure which of the 5 settings I'm going to try. That would mean I'd have to do another 5 laps of this place. I'm not sure really how much difference there will be. Let's see how far I get before it gets dark. I'm using a mini tripod, which also kind of works as a handle to do the filming today. Okay, so almost take 3 done. Go around again. I've now changed to wide, and it says 16 to 34. I'm not sure what that means, because as far as I know there's no zoom function, so I really don't know what that means. Other thing to note, I'll get running because of the truck behind me, but the other thing to note is that I can choose the frames per second, and I think for whatever reason I had it set to 2x, which allows you to do slow-mo. I hope it's not slow-mo by default. If it is, I guess I can double the speed to get it back to normal, but then also the resolution. So with the regular lens you can shoot up to 5.3K. I'm on the GoPro Hero 10, by the way. The latest one's the 11. With the max it's 2.7K. And I realized I've been saving my videos in what was it, some higher resolution, I think, which I probably really didn't need to do. So just from this one run, I'm learning quite a lot. The other thing I'd realised was that the horizon levelling was indeed enabled by the additional lens. Now I've changed to linear, which is 19mm to 39mm. I think one thing I realized just by the naming is that this should reduce the amount of fisheye effect you get on the lens. And I think that's also one of the advantages of the lens mod, is that you get less fisheye effect, even though you've got that wide field of view. So let's see how this one starts to go. It's been quite interesting, even just while doing this short exercise, learning a lot about the settings. I think I'll do 2 or 3 more rounds, and then just testing the other settings on the aperture, and then I'll call it a day, and maybe do some more rounds in future testing some of the different settings. Meant to do it the same way every time, but I forgot. Okay, good. So for all these settings I do have the stabilization feature turned on, both for the lens mod and for this one. I think it applies to the lens mod, maybe it doesn't. Actually, maybe it doesn't. The next last setting I've got is linear plus horizon leveling. It's also 19 to 39, but I guess in general, at least when you've got the horizon leveling taking effect, the field of view will be narrower, because it's basically editing the video. It's taking the center of the video in order to activate that horizon leveling. Not sure how it looks when you don't need the horizon leveling on, but let's give it a go and see. The horizon leveling is a super useful feature. You can do it using the quick app post editing. Not sure whether you can do it in bulk to all videos. I think you may be able to, but it's super useful, as it means yeah, when you're down a hill or you're running off-road or something like that, from the viewer's perspective it all looks flat, even though in reality you may not be carrying the camera 100% horizontal. Okay. So by now I guess you're seeing less of the road, less of the sky, at least when I'm looking across there to my left. Let's see when I get back. So final setting for today, which will get me to just over 5k at just around 6 minutes a kilometer, will be the narrow setting. I imagine by now you're pretty much seeing just my face, and it's not very suited, especially to this shot where you're taking yourself. Let's see. Sorry, I completely mucked up the sequence there. Completely different panning from previous scenes. Guess I'm getting a little tired, but hopefully you get to see the difference. One last corner to go, and this corner will be a good comparison, I think, of the lenses as well, given you've got close distance and long distance. Okay, so that's it for today. The final shot, I've gone back to super view, so hopefully you're seeing some more of the surroundings now. I've also gone from 2x frames per second down to 1x, so just a last little test to see how that affects the quality of the video. But thanks for joining me if you watched this far. As you can tell, I'm not really a camera expert, but I hope you learned something, and if any of you out there have any advice, definitely feel free to let me know. I'd love to do it, and I'd love to do some more tests. Thanks for watching.